off day one of this symposium, I just wanted to thank all of you for taking the time to be here. I also equally want to take a moment to thank our sponsors for making this symposium possible. The welcome dinner last night was sponsored by Ultragenics, and the event over these next 2 days wouldn't have been made possible had it not been for the generosity of all of our sponsors listed here. Okay, really quickly, before we get started with our opening remarks, I just wanted to do some house rules for the audience here. I hope everyone has grabbed a welcome bag post-registration from the tables outside. Inside the bag, you will find a schedule and a QR code for our app. Most of the information relating to our speakers and our schedule for both days is also available on the app. So those of you who like to have it handy on their phones, just download it. Wi-Fi network is on there for some internet connectivity. Some quick notes about the format of the talks today. So if you've noticed, in the past we've done 15-minute talks and then a panel together. This year we've had a lot of interesting content, and we wanted to use that opportunity to dive a little deeper. So we're doing 30-minute talk slots per speaker. And a general guideline is for speakers to please limit their talk content to 20 minutes, so we may have 10 minutes for Q&A after the talk, which will be run by our moderators. Another quick note, for this morning's sessions, we will be dismissing parents at 11:45 so that they may go and prepare their children who are in camp for lunch. And lunch will be served right outside for everyone, for those of us attending here the symposium at noon. Talks end at 5 p.m. today, and I'm very excited to announce that we have our first ever poster session at this symposium. So posters are in the hall next to us, and from 5:30 to 7, we'll have the poster presenters buy their posters. You can go and ask them questions and take a look at additional content that we weren't able to fit into the talks itself. Following that, or somewhere midway between that, we'll be setting up for dinner after 6:30, and as always, we have activities for kids as well as for families together. So I hope everyone will take advantage of that. And one additional, note for those of you who are social media savvy, we'd love it if you could show us a little more love on social media. We have an ACD backdrop right outside in the foyer, so feel free to take pictures against it and then put it up on your social media pages, tag us, talk about what you're learning over here. It would be great to get some attention over this weekend for what you're learning here. And with that, I will be handing off to Heidi, our executive director, for opening remarks for the symposium.
Good morning. I'm so excited. My heart is so full to see each of you here. Everyone here is so important. It's so important that the families show up and that we bring our children, or we talk about our children if we can't bring them, and we make this real. And that the researchers show up and they collaborate and they meet the kids, and we all leave this meeting going, this is what we're focused on. We are going to do this together. I have family support. They're there for me. I have researchers working for me. I have hope. I'm so grateful that everyone came. I know this is not easy to do, especially for the families. So I just want to really say thank you. I also want to say thank you to the people that have come from the different states' public health labs. This year we have a special session at the beginning of this meeting where we're going to focus on GAMT deficiency. We wanted to make sure that we brought together the information that the states need to learn about this disease, to learn about how to screen for it, What is it like when you get a positive screen? How do you treat it? What's the real life experience? And so we have a really nice panel this morning, and we've had quite a few states come to learn more. So I just want to welcome you and let you know that we're here for you. If you have questions, if you need to connect in any way to support your work, we would love to talk. So who's here today? We have 37 families here today, 5 industry representatives, 42 researcher, student health care provider, public health, and then we have 8 countries represented, 154 total attendees. And these are our 8 countries. And for those who are joining and don't know a lot about us, I just wanted to touch really quickly on who is ACD. We are a nonprofit that was started in 2012, and our mission is to provide education, advocate for early intervention, and drive research into the 3 creatine deficiency syndromes. And we are patient-led or parent-led. So our board is all parents. I was on the board, and now I just do this full time, and I'm a parent, and we have the patient at the center of everything we do. And with that, I just want to highlight a few of the things that have happened since the last time we met. I'm only going to go back to 2023 here, and then I'll hit on what's happened in the last 6 months, because we're on fire all together. We're all doing really great things, and I want to highlight research, and I want to highlight families and how us working together is moving mountains. So in 2023, we had 60 new families. That's amazing. I remember back in the day when we were founded, it was like a new family every 3 or 4 months, and now it's just all the time. And so people are getting diagnosed. That's fantastic. They just need to get diagnosed earlier, but that's okay. We're working towards that. We awarded 3 fellowship awards in 2023. We had a really awesome CCDS day on February 1st, where we launched these explainer videos in 8 different languages, and those got a lot of views, especially the non-English. We really made a nice resource for people who speak other languages than English, and we were excited to launch that. We had a really great virtual conference last fall. We launched our Creatine Deficiency Research Center at the University of Utah in 2023, with Dr. Steve Baker's project being the first of several. And then down the middle here, we completed our parents project, where we had 19 meetings over 2 years with a group of 24 parents. We had expert panel meetings where we discussed those parents' cases that they had shared, de-identified of course, and discussed different approaches to care, and we brought in new partners through that, different specialists, so that was amazing. And then we sent out 3 Delphi surveys to the community, and through that process we established what do caregivers and clinicians and researchers find to be the top most important outcomes to observe in a clinical trial, and we reached consensus in a consensus meeting with equal numbers of clinicians and parents, and we said it's these 8 outcomes, and we reached easy consensus, so there were no arguments. So we've really built something important for now our community to have a voice in every trial that comes along for our disorders. We had our CCDS ELPFDD meeting. That's the externally led patient-focused drug development meeting that you just need to do. You got to get on the radar with the FDA. And from that, we wrote and published the Voice of the Patient report. And that's the paper version of that meeting, where it pulls together all the comments that came in offline and the survey results. And it's posted on our website, and it's amazing. Our Walk for Strength grew to be the biggest walk ever as far as the number of walkers. We had over 1,100, and our registry finally hit the 200 participant mark, and we had a fantastic year. So, skipping forward to this year, we've awarded 5 fellowships, more than any other year. We have 2 special research projects that you're going to hear about either in the posters or in talks, and we have collaborated with Dr. Laura Baroncelli and Michaela Fagiolini to look into FNIRS for developing or confirming the potential of a non-invasive biomarker. So again, it's all about, hey, let's give the researchers the tools and let's insert the patient voice, make sure everything is ready and tidy and fast for when we hit a clinical trial. I'm going to just skip forward to save time. We had our first CTD trial that was launched, a drug trial by Dr. Grinspan, trialing Ravicti. So big things this year in research. Our patient community is stepping up too. We have had the biggest walk as far as a fundraiser ever this year, and we're having a gala, which is really exciting. We've never done that, so we're just trying everything. We are patients and researchers together preparing for clinical trials. We received a $249,000 PCORI grant to develop considerations for selecting outcome measurement tools for GAMT and CTD. That's a companion. So we're not just saying, here's what you should measure in clinical trials, these 8 outcomes. Now we're saying, and now you need to be careful. We don't want you to fail when you assess something like cognitive ability. We want to make sure we're set up for success. And that will launch in September, and we'll be recruiting a whole new batch of caregivers. So stay tuned for more on that. Really quickly, since our last symposium, because of us coming together and patients donating their cell lines, we have grown quite a few more cell lines with Coriell. And lastly, newborn screening. That was approved 2023. So again, since our last symposium, approved for RESP, and we've seen 4 states have started to screen. Australia has approved screening. Many states have approved and scheduled their screening, and so we're marching forward on that front as well. And so now we're going to turn it over to our newborn screening panel, and the first speakers will be Becky and Stu Tribe. They'll be talking about the family experience of a GAMT newborn screening diagnosis. Thank you.